I was Blackbird and his friends on today. Always it's holding it so late. If they have to do things like they have to do, I'm sending a video every week. The rest of the story I might have to pause. They're so dumb. I didn't get copyrighted because I had to wait all day just to do this. On this sooner. It's for his response, I expect him to call me weird or freak and him tell you what. If you hope this is the rest of the story and not what we've read already. Yeah, saying actually autism has been the very vein of my existence. It's always mattered, that's why nobody liked me. It doesn't really, but it does, it always does. The reason I've been treated like an alien since grade school, the reason I never had any friends, not to ignore the reason I had this embarrassing offer, the reason my parents probably left, doesn't to me feel proud. Now I feel bad, I had no idea he had a condition. Somebody really should have told me instead that he looked like an alien. I just thought he was weird, shy and tough kid. I knew you judged me when you first. I knew you judged me when you first met me, he mumbled, trying to make eye contact. No, I didn't. I lied, looking anywhere but his face. Don't lie, he said up and down at his lap. I'm not. I don't judge, I lied again. I really am the A word. If you say so. Friends then, he asked, his eyes burning holes in the side of my face. How about just tutor, I please? Okay, he said, disappointed. God, this kid needs to lighten up. I'm just kidding, Curly. We can be friends. I said, finally looking down at me in his eyes. They were earthly, forest green with flakes of brown, unlike any I've seen before. For a moment his face lightened up and gave me a toothy grin, while nodding his head. He wasn't bad looking at all. So why are you really here, he asked, returning to his gloomy state. I was concerned about you, I admitted. Why? Because I felt guilty for kicking you out. I felt slightly heavy while closing my eyes. I wasn't very good at admitting my wrongs. Oh, it's okay. Nothing moved, he mumbled. I bit my lip, looking down at him, snuggled against my chest, fighting sleep. His eyes were fluttering open and closed. I don't think I've ever met anyone more innocent, and the guilt was eating me up. You can go to sleep, I suggested. You can. I let yourself out. When you want. Well, what if I want to stay? What type of person abandons someone after confessing like that? Okay. He cracked a smile, making his dimple appointment or whatever it says. Of course, he had dimples. I slowly came to the first thing I noticed. What was the lack of warmth around me? I knew he'd leave. Why did it still hurt? I squinted my eyes and the sun was directly in my face. It was morning, a scent of sweetness and butter hit my nose. I immediately sat up on the couch. Are those pancakes? A loud bang from the drop pan of a long list of expertise following echoed from the kitchen. You gotta be awake now, Curly, Lewis shouted from the kitchen. I thought you left. I did get groceries. You have no food. No. Hold on. I was gonna go shopping today, I groaned, rubbing my eyes with a smile on my face. I couldn't let him know how overjoyed I was. He stayed. Frankie, he muttered. I slowly stood up and stretched while walking over to where he was by the stove. He was wearing his same outfit from yesterday, with messy hair, but he still managed to look so charming and handsome. He was flipping pancakes in one pan while cooking eggs in the other. I smelled a hint of meat, and I peeked down to look in the oven to see bacon sizzling. Is this all edible? I joked, to try and hide my joy. He was cooking for me. I'll have you know, I'm a great cook. Whatever you say, I replied, shutting down at the table, trying not to cry. Can't believe someone has taken the time to cook for me. A few minutes later, he put a plate in front of me with deliciously steaming food on it. It had started drooling. Good, he said, smugly watching me scarf down my plate. Yeah, I haven't had a good meal in a while. I laughed. Sympathetic look came upon his face. And I looked down at my plate again. That look was similar to the one teachers would give me when they saw me playing by myself at recess. I couldn't stand it. I finished my food quickly and placed my dish in the sink. I walked past him and up the stairs so I could go to my room and get ready for the day. I opened my closet and mindlessly grabbed a random shirt and black jeans. Let me pick out your clothes, he said. Startling me, I turned round to see his arms folded over his chest, looking at my outfit choice. Listen prudently. Hold on, I'll make some more noise when you come up. Will you and I didn't know I had a stylist. Well, now you do. Move over, he said, scooching me aside, peering in my closet. I see food shopping isn't the only type of shopping you need to do. He mumbled and rolled my eyes. I only went from home to school. I had no need for nice clothing. After a few insults about my style or lack of thereof, he laid out a grey long sleeve shirt with thin yellow stripes across it. A jean jacket, loose-fitting blue jeans, and a black Converse. I don't know, I said, unsure. I would have never chosen something like that for myself. Just try it on, he said, shoving my clothes in my hand. I sighed heavily, seeing that I was not getting out of this situation. I shoved him out of the room so I could change. When I looked in the mirror, I was pleasantly surprised with how well it came together. Are you done? He asked while entering my room. Hey, what if I was changing? But you weren't now, were you? Do you wear those glasses? He asked, picking up my eyeglasses off my bedstand. Not usually, but they make me look even worse. Try them on, he said, putting them on my face. No, I exclaimed, pushing him away. He was stronger than he looked. Come on. No. Please, poor Lewis, please. He asked, sticking out his bottom lip and pouting. I glared at him and he snatched the glass out of his hand, while he smirked in satisfaction. Satisfaction. I slid them on my face and thought I heard his breath, which satisfaction calls me, and then desert me, so I can get my satisfaction. Satisfaction. I knew I looked ugly, I mumbled, looking at the ground. My feet suddenly becoming very interesting. Far from it, he muttered, tilting my chin up, so we were making eye contact. I felt rush to my cheeks, and I covered my hands in my face. He pushed my hand down and fixed my hair gingerly. He took a step back and looked me up and down. Well, I blushed endlessly. You look great. Thanks. thanks. Let's go. I'm driving you to school. As long as I don't die on the way there. No promises. I don't think I've learned a thing these past weeks. I chuckled as I leaned my head back against the headrest. I enjoy being with Lewis and learning about what's under the hard facade he puts up. But my grades aren't improving at all, and the principal is becoming suspicious. What do you mean we've reviewed some stuff? We've looked at my homework once. You're telling me you'd rather study than hang out with me? No. It's just my grades are really bad, I admitted, looking down at my hands. Fine, we'll review something tonight. So can you stop pouting now? He said, pulling into a parking spot towards the back of the school. I always wondered why he chose to park farther away when we were open spot available on the front, but I was afraid of the answer. I unbuckled my seatbelt and grabbed my bag, but before I could get out of the car, my legs started twitching. Stimming was a part of my condition. That rarely affected me. It did when I was narrating in Serapful. I looked down in horror, and both my legs were. And I knew that what was about to follow. My head began twitching to the side, and my hands were filled up in fists, so tight my knuckles were turned white. Are you okay? Lewis asked, staring at me uneasy. Yeah. It'll be over soon. I closed my eyes and tried to breathe deeply, while releasing the tension from my whole body. Eventually my body settled down and I opened my eyes to look at Lewis. You're okay now, he said, wiping the tears. I didn't even notice I'd fallen. You're gonna let me now, I whimpered. This would definitely be the last straw to drive me away. You can't get rid of me, so stop asking. He chapped and pinched my cheek. Sorry, I whimpered. This is so much more embarrassing than stealing publicly in front of people I don't know. You don't need to apologise. It's all right. No, it's not. It's weird and strange, I sniffed. It wasn't that bad, and it's not like you could help. Don't cry anymore, he said, while ruffling my hair. Are you ready to go now, Curly? It's Harry, I mumbled, while throwing my bag over my shoulders and rubbing my eyes. Do you prefer a hairball, or maybe bushy? What? Not just Harry, I laughed. Of course I didn't mind the nickname, but I could never admit that. Because I like it now, let's go, he said, climbing out of the car. I followed suit and started walking towards the school. Following slightly behind, I was able to catch up to him as we entered the school. So, when can we? I started, but he already disappeared into the sea of people. Lewis, I called out, but he had all but disappeared. This was expected, though. He would drive me to school, but then I wouldn't see him for the rest of the day. I couldn't blame him, though. I wouldn't want to be seen with a freak, either. I feel a bit guilty, but I was glad to get away from him. I mean, the body twitching thing took me by surprise, and I wasn't exactly sure how to act. Luckily for me, us going our separate ways has been my routine for these couple of weeks. I do spy on him during my free time sometimes, only out of curiosity. Hey, I heard a familiar voice from behind me. I turned around and saw Zane leaning against the lockers, smiling at me. You're finally back from suspension? It's about time, I smiled back while dabbing him up. I know you missed me. You wish. I missed that ugly face of yours, I laughed while closing my locker. Hold on. Now, look at this kid. Isn't he the one that stutters? And of course he was pointing at Harry, who was slumbering in the halls alone. Just my luck. He looks like good entertainment for today. He smirked, beginning to walk over. Wait, I yelled, grabbing his wrist. And he looked back at me confusedly. What about this kid? Oh yeah, this kid over here looks like he needs a good beating, I said, directing his attention to some other random guy. Nah, I want to talk to this one. He'd be a cute twink if he wasn't such a freak, I muttered, walking away from me. Irritation rose within me, and I sighed loudly. I shouldn't even get involved. I should just walk away, but my feet were moving towards the scene. Then grabbed his shirt and pushed him up against the locker. Lewis, help, he whimpered, looking at me with desperation. Desperation. She's looking for Mr. Right. Wanted me to be that guy to her. It's desperation. There's a big hit on the side of her. It's desperation. He looked absolutely helpless. How could you be so helpless? Yet my feet were stuck on the floor. How did he know your name? Are you friends with this weirdo? Zane snickered. Think fast. No, I tutor him sometimes, I muttered irritably. Pain look washed over Harry's face as he glared at me. Yeah, he only tutors me. You think I'd be friends with that coward? He groaned in Zane's face. I noticed how he stutters twice in a sentence. I wish I could tell him that I was proud. Watch how you talk around my friends, Zane snarled back, slamming against the locker again. I wanted to reach out and stop him. I wanted to say something again, but I was frozen. Get off me, I yelled, pushing Zane off of him. He threw a left hook at his cheek, causing him to stumble and fall on the ground. Zane sat up in shock and brought his hand to his mouth, which was dripping with. The crowd murmured in disbelief while clearing out to avoid getting into trouble. I looked at Harry. I'd never seen him so infatuated. It was a little scary, but also attractive. He quickly walked away from the scene. I was able to control my body again. I clicked the snooze button on my alarm clock as I threw my covers over my head. My bed is almost unfamiliar, and it isn't half as comfortable as Harry's couch. By the time we finish studying, it's already late, so I usually just sleep over. I mean, who wouldn't mind having somebody to keep them up warm at night? I told my parents I've been busy working on projects with Harry and staying with my friends, which is half true. I was basically living with Harry, kind of like a roommate situation. It's normal to miss someone you've lived with. I missed the little things we did and our daily routine. He was starting to open up to me. I was starting to see the goofy and fun side of Harry. I don't usually enjoy talking with many people, but with him I could talk for hours. I think I'm happier, but that's what happens when you make friends, right? New friends make you happy. Anyways, I'm still the world's biggest A-word, and yet have to gain the courage to speak to him since the incident. I don't know why it's taken me 3 days to apologise, but I need to get it over with. Lewis! My mother yelled. Why do you need to yell at me at 8 in the morning? I groaned, burrowing my deeper into the covers. Well, if you heard me yelling downstairs, I wouldn't have to. I'm up, I shouted, while throwing the covers off with my bed. Me inside and out of bed. And why aren't you at Harry's house today? You practically live there. Don't worry about it. I'm getting dressed now, so can you leave, I said, by pushing her out of the room. I need to start locking my door. I walked into the bathroom and stared myself down in the mirror. No matter how much I tried to reassure myself, everything would be fine. My stomach continued to twist and turn. I quickly washed my face and brushed my teeth, and after I finished getting ready, I walked downstairs and snorted into the kitchen. Well, you look put together today, my mother declared from the kitchen table. I look the same as I do every day. I don't know. You look a bit neater today. You smell better too. Whatever, I said, brushing it off. taking the muffin to go. I don't know what she's talking about. I look good every day. Along my way to school, I stopped at Starbucks to pick up a frappe for Harry. Hopefully this would help my apology go smoother. When I arrived at school, I went directly to Harry's locker, so I'd get this over with. I'd apologise, he'd forgive me, and I can go about my day guilt-free. I saw him grabbing his books for the next class. "Hey," I said, approaching him. He turned around to face him, and I gulped. There was a dark purple bruise on his cheek, cuts shattered on his arm. "What?" he snapped, looking just as fierce as the day I gasped, Starbucks type in my hand. "I wanted to apologise," I said sheepishly. That doesn't matter," he mumbled, turning away from me. I looked messed up. I should have said something to Zane. My situation is complicated. I messed up. "You don't understand." "Oh, really? What don't I understand?" I understand that you didn't defend me, and that you just stood over there and much more than me almost get my mouth beat, and you would have sat there and you if I didn't defend myself, because you didn't want everyone to do no. You were friends with the weird autistic freak. You were just using me so you wouldn't get into trouble, and I was an idiot to trust you. So please tell me what I don't understand. He's right. I'm ashamed of him. I was using him to stay out of trouble. That wasn't the only reason I was spending time with him. Say something, idiot. Exactly. That's what I thought, he said, wiping his eyes, running away. I stood there speechless for the second time, in the middle of the hallway, looking like an idiot, holding a melted Starbucks frappe. The thought of going over to Harry's to apologise ran through my mind constantly. Usually I'm not the one to shy away from confrontation, but for some reason all my confidence shrivels up at the thought of having to face him. Regardless, I just need to wipe the bandage off and get this over with. I think the stress of the whole damn thing is affecting me physically too. I've been feeling a bit under the weather recently. "You look deep in thought there, mate," Liam said while putting his book into his backpack. I quickly snapped back into reality and saw that half of the class were already gone. "My bad," I chuckled and harshly shoved my books into my bag. We walked up to the classroom towards the front doors until Liam stopped in his tracks. "Don't get mad, okay? I just have to ask, there's something going on between you and that kid," he says, avoiding my eyes. I felt my face instantly heat up, irritation grow. Why would you ask something so ridiculous?" I snapped. I said, "Don't get mad, I'm not the only one wondering either. The others were curious too." "What would make you think there will be anything going on?" I said. "Well, you don't hang out with us as much anymore because you're always with him. You don't even complain about it anymore. It seems like you almost enjoy it." "Listen, I only do what I have to do. His grades are really bad, so it's taken a while to get them back up. I'm quitting this soon anyway, and I don't care what Miss has to say about it. You guys can stop saying stupid stuff now." Pushed past Liam and walked out of the building to my car. My pounding head fell onto the steering wheel, and I gripped it tightly with my clammy hand. Why do I feel like I almost got caught doing something I wasn't supposed to do? My heart was beating so loudly I could hear it thumping in my eardrums. While putting the key in ignition, I sighed heavily. Let's just get this over with. During the drive waves of the pain began hitting my stomach, and I felt like I was going to lose my lunch. Luckily, he wasn't far from the school, and I was able to pull into his driveway. I groaned, laying my sweaty head on the cool glass of the car window. I ran my arm under the cold sink water, ignoring the sting sensation. Why am I so afraid to do it? What am I waiting for? A knock came from the door, startled from my thoughts. I quickly wiped down the area, ran over to peer out of the peephole. Lewis! I exclaimed, flinging the door open. He was leaning against the pillars of the house, urinating, praying. What's wrong with you? I feel sick. Let me in, he mumbled. Bending over, I put his arm around my shoulder and helped him into the house, and sat him on the couch. Ran into the bathroom to grab a trash can and placed it in front of him. He was laying back on the couch, his eyes shut tightly, and his arms draped over his eyes. I feel like I'm dying, he groaned. What do you do in this type of situation? When did your stomach start to hurt? I asked, sitting down next to him. On the way here. Why didn't you just go home? I asked him briefly. I needed to see you, he said, and my heart busted in my chest. I know he couldn't have meant it like that, but hearing the words made me blush. For what? To apologise? I'm really sorry for what happened, Harry. I should have stopped Zane and defended you. It should have never happened, said while making eye contact. I completely forgot I was supposed to be upset with him. Seeing him come here and apologise while he was feeling sick melted away all of my feelings of anger. It's okay, I mumbled, looking down at my hand sitting on my lap. Is it really? I don't want things to be awkward anymore. Yeah, it's fine. You don't really owe me anything, I chuckled, my eyes wandering everywhere but his face. I know I don't. That still wasn't right. You didn't deserve it, he said, burning holes into the side of my head. I thought my face couldn't get any hotter. I was proved wrong. I couldn't help myself, and I flung my arms around him, hid my burning face in his chest. You're forgotten. You're forgiven. You're forgiven. Let's just act like it didn't happen, I mumbled. What was happening right now? Every word he said felt so intense. I felt him wrench in pain. I immediately sat up. Are you okay? I asked. And wow, his face was really close to mine. How are his eyes so blue? Sorry, I nervously chuckled and began to adjust myself so I wasn't leaning all over him like a weirdo. Don't worry about it, Curly. He lightly smiled at me once again. My heart busted in my chest. I turned to him and saw the smile on my face. I missed him. So many chapters. How long have I been going for? Nearly 30 minutes. I don't know if I should stop or not. I'll probably end up forgetting that I'm on chapter 10. I should go any further because it's leaving 30 minutes. Maybe I could have done it for longer if I didn't have to keep pausing every 5 minutes, thinking that I'm going to get interrupted when I didn't. But anyways, thanks for watching this video. I'll speak to you guys in the next one. Bye!
Me too,